Well, fight fans have wanted this matchup for a long time. They just didn't realize they were going to get it so soon. To break this fight down at UFC 251, we're bringing Dominick Cruz, former UFC bantamweight champion, here on SportsCenter. Dominick, let me ask you this. We've seen fighters in the past take even title bouts on short notice, the way Masvidal is doing here against Usman. But what is the impact on both fighters with one of these guys coming in on short notice?
Well, really, I mean, both guys, if you think about it, Masvidal was ready to jump into this situation. I talked to his manager. He thought somebody might get hurt, so he's been training. So he was ready to take on either style. But when it comes to Usman, he was preparing for a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that really counts on takedowns and scrambles. Masvidal pretty much counts on and relies on his takedown defense and his fast counter ability. So it is a completely different fight for Usman.
Yeah, so the mental aspect is also in play here because you got to get prepared for a different type of style. But here's the deal. As I mentioned this earlier, fight fans have been wanting this matchup for quite some time. We've seen a lot of drama between these two guys outside the cage, a little back and forth, and they're both very good at what they do. But when you get these two styles to get into the same cage at the same time, Dominick, what can we expect from this matchup itself?
Well, if you think about it, like I was saying, Masvidal really likes to take his time early and defend the takedowns. Get the timing and how his opponents like to set up their takedowns if they are that style of grappler, which he's faced a couple times. But I don't think Masvidal has ever faced the level of grappling and power of Usman. Usman has a style where he sets up his takedowns with big, powerful strikes, and he explodes and covers so much distance that with his shots and with his strikes, you can't tell which he's doing. Is he throwing a punch or is he taking a shot? And when you get tricked in those little habits, you get caught. And that's how he's finished a lot of people. The real intangible in this fight, I believe, is who can dictate the pace. Can Masvidal keep the pressure and get the respect to stuff the takedowns and get ahead later in the rounds as he stuffs the early takedowns? Or will Usman really get ahead on the cards like he does? He really over-offenses everybody he fights and overwhelms them until they have nothing left. Will he be able to do that and keep Masvidal on his heels? That's what each fighter needs to look for, and it comes down to pace in this matchup, especially on short notice, as you were mentioning.
Let me ask you this. I don't want you to give me a prediction on who will win. I want to get that from you later in the week. But what's more likely in this matchup, a stoppage or going the distance?
If I'm looking at this matchup, Masvidal probably wants to try to get Usman out of there early because he still has cardio, but Usman has a habit of really keeping a heavy pace for 5 rounds. So I'm looking for Masvidal probably try to get it done within 3. If you're Usman, grind him out until he has nothing left. If you can get it done early, get it done. But Masvidal has a very good chin. I don't think he's ever even been dropped, and neither is Usman. So there's a good chance this could go the distance. If I had to guess one, I would say Masvidal in 3. And if Usman wins, it goes the distance, would be my guess.
And Masvidal has a history of coming out pretty hot as well. So we'll see how that plays out there in Abu Dhabi. Dominick Cruz here on SportsCenter and the dog. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks. Dojo says hi.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and special content, subscribe to ESPN+.